Hi folks, it's Evo here from Thundermist Lure Company, and welcome to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. We have got a gorgeous day upon us. There's a slight southwesterly wind, and the winds actually are going to calm down here. But right now we've got a nice walleye chop. We're out here on Lake Erie, on the eastern basin of Lake Erie. We're in about 50 feet of water right now, and we're going to be down rigging for walleye. And the rigs we're going to use today, we're going to be running Viper spoons with night crawlers, and I've got a Misty minnow rigged up on another rod. We're going to run a combination of baits here and see what these walleye are interested in. So I've got the large Misty minnow out there, and we're going to be running down riggers, and off of each rigger I'm going to run 2 lines, and it's very easy to do. I've got the Misty minnow out there first because it's going to dive, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook that up to the cannonball. So let me do that now. We'll try to see if we could film in this rough weather while I get set up, because I've got no one driving the boat, so this is going to be very interesting. Alright, so this is my Misty minnow. Is out there already about 100 feet or so. So I grabbed the line, got my cannonball here with the release. If you've never used these, it's like a clothespin. And I just put my line in there. I'm going to drop this down. Alright, so now basically all I'm going to do, there's a little counter here, tells me how deep I'm going. I'm going to drop that down a bit. Drop that down 5 feet, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my Viper spoon rigged with the worm. I'm going to get that line out there. So let's get this guy out. As we move along, I'm going to let out about I'm going to say 150 feet of line. So let me do that, and I'll get the second one rigged in. Okay, so I've got that Viper spoon line out there now. Now I'm going to clip this onto the cable, and all this is a quick clip here. It just goes by pressure, so I'm going to just clip this right onto that cable, that downrigger cable. Just like that. Got my Viper spoon here. Clip my Viper spoon on just like that. Okay. Sure would have been easier if Antonio was out here with us today, but we're going to make do. It's going to be an interesting day. It's a lot of work when you down rig, that's for sure. Okay, so now that I've got that on, what I'm going to do, I'm going to lower this cannonball. I'm going to start to lower this down. What I'm going to do, I'm going to continue to lower that down. So I'm going to lower that cannon down to 30 feet. That large Misty minnow dives 10 feet. So if I lower the cannonball to 30, the Misty minnow is going to dive to 40. I've got the Viper spoon up 5 feet above that, so it's going to be sitting, if the cannonball is at 30 feet, the Viper spoon is going to be at around 25. So that'll be one lure at 25 feet, one lure diving to 40. On this side, I'll run the Viper spoon at 30 and then another one at 35. So I'll have 25, 30, 35, 40, all those depths covered with these 4 lures. And I'm going to keep an eye on the graph and see what depth these fish are at. Okay, folks, we're totally set up now. It took a few minutes, but we're good to go. I've got all 4 rods loaded up. Lake Erie, you're allowed 2 rods per person. Of course, we've got the cameraman with us today. And you can see how the rods are they're cocked in the I'm going to say the ready position. There's a little bit of pressure on the rods, and the way the downriggers work is once the fish hits the lure, it'll pop the rod out of the holder, it'll pop the line out of the little holder, and your rod will pop, and you'll know right away that you've got a fish, and that's when it's time to take up the slack real quick. And you need to really take up the slack because there's a lot of slack line between you and the fish. So you take up the slack real quick and then set the hook. And sometimes what happens is with these walleye, they'll hit your lure, but they might not necessarily pull the line out of the release, especially if you've got the line gripped in there very, very tightly. So it's a good habit to get into when you're trolling for walleye. Every 20 minutes or every half hour at least, if nothing's happening, check your lines, because you could be dragging a fish. If not a walleye, you might be dragging a sheephead or a white perch or a silver bass, who knows. But it's always good to check your lines. Okay, folks, well, I gotta tell you, we changed spots because I was trolling over there and we weren't marking a thing. So we just hopped over here into 55 feet of water, and it wasn't 10 minutes and the rigger went off. And this is on the Viper spoon. I can't remember what color. I think this might be the gold Viper spoon. But now the fun begins. I got to try and keep the boat going in the right direction and see if we can land this fish. Feels like a nice Lake Erie walleye, folks. Add a fair amount of line out. Oh yeah. I got to be careful. He's on top of the water right now. I'm still moving. The boat's still going right now at about just under 2 miles an hour. I was going at about 2.5 miles an hour. That's what I've been hanging out at. 2 to 2.5. Okay, I can see him on top of the water there. Now this is where most people lose fish, myself included, right at the boat. Okay, I got to keep him right up the middle. If you notice, I've been reeling right up the middle. I don't want to interfere with my other lines. Okay, this is where those walleye they give that one last head shake, and this is where you lose them. And I don't want to lose him. He looks like a nice fish. Okay, let's see if I can. Oh yeah, that's a beauty. Oh yeah. Oh no. There we go. Wow, that's a dandy. There's a nice Lake Erie chunk right there. Yes, sir. That is what we came here for, right there. That's a big fish. That's a big Lake Erie walleye. Oh, wow. Let me get the needle nose out. I'm a little excited now. Beautiful. Oh, there's a nice chunky Lake Erie walleye right there. That's what it's all about right there, folks. That's a really good fish. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Oh yeah, you know where he's going. That's dinner. Okay. In the box. Oh, that's a big, heavy fish. The more I look at him, that's like, I don't know, he's up there. That's all I could say. He's up there in weight. Nice, big, heavy fish. Put some water in that live well. Okay, that's the thing with the Viper spoons. They'll catch you quality and quantity of fish. With a real night crawler on the back of the Viper spoon, they're just a great combination. So I still have my other lines out. I got to keep an eye on them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the exact same thing now. I'm going to bring that rigger up, load this Viper spoon up with another nice, fresh, lively night crawler, and see if we can get into another fish, because that's a phenomenal start right there. Okay, I'm back rigged up again, and what I'm doing is I've just decided to make a swing back around. I'm gonna go right back over that area again. So I'm starting to make a turn. I was going into the waves, now I'm gonna go with the waves and see if I can pick up another fish there. But you know what, folks, this is great fishing. I've just begun. That fish came out of 35 feet of water, so I'm gonna keep an eye on things, and if that seems to be the range, I'll keep my lures in that particular range. And remember, when the walleyes are feeding, they'll go up to feed. They won't necessarily go down, so you're always better to have your baits a little bit higher. But I'm gonna make a nice wide swing here and work my way right back into that area again. Oh, this feels like another nice fish, folks. I gotta tell you what I did. I started to make a swing around to come back around, do this other side again where we got that fish from, and ended up getting a couple lines tangled. I wanted to make a wide swing and I cut a little close, so I just started re-rigging these lines up. I had these two lines down, and as I was re-rigging, those ones are not even set yet, this rod went off, and it feels like another nice walleye. Oh yeah. This one actually is staying down. That last one came right up to the top. This one's staying down and giving me a bit of a fight. Now this one came at 40 feet. This rod was down 40 feet. The other rod was down 35. So they seem to be a little bit deeper. So if that's the case, I just might concentrate on 35 and 40 feet. And now I gotta watch, I'm going with the waves, so it's not as rough, which is really nice for managing the boat here. Oh wow, he's actually peeling a bit of drag here. This is a fighter. Normally these fish just come in like a boot, like you're dragging a boot out of the water. Oh yeah, it's another nice walleye. Folks, it's another nice walleye. Another big one. Oh yeah, that's a good fish. Oh yeah. Lake Erie walleye, you gotta love it. Big walleyes. Big water, big fish. Okay, again, I want to keep him right in the middle of the boat here. Keep his head down. I don't want those head shakes. That's where you lose the fish, so I'm gonna keep him down, keep him down. I'm going as slow as I can. I don't want to put the boat in neutral because I've got those riggers down and my lines are out there. It'll make a big mess. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a nice fish. Oh yeah, nice Mr. Walleye. I don't think it's not quite as big as that last one, but pretty close. Ah. Yes, in the bag. Yes. Oh yes. Guess what, folks? We're eating good today. This is just phenomenal. You know what? He's not quite as big as that last one, but almost. He's gonna go right in the box. Okay. Wow. Folks, this is unbelievable. I think I'm just gonna keep working this area because those fish must be holding here. There must be a school of them in around here. So I'm gonna work back up my ways and then come right back down here again. I got some work ahead of me now. Bring that guy up, re-rig this one, get those two going again. Lots of work, but lots of fun. I gotta tell you, if you get an opportunity, down rigging can be very rewarding, as you've just seen. Controlled depth fishing allows you to fish at different depths. It's a great way to go. I wanna thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. And as always, folks, until next time, good luck and good fishing. I got some work ahead of me. Oh my, that was great. How's that for a catch and release? Nice. That is your typical Kawartha Lake walleye right there.